Hey, what's up, guys? It is Saintsfan, and since there was no Squadcast this weekend, which, sorry about that, hopefully there'll be one next weekend, but since there was nothing this weekend, I wanted to make this video just giving my thoughts on Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 and Part 2, like, as a whole. In addition to that, I also wanted to touch on some interesting new stuff that Rockstar potentially teased as their next DLC, besides a story mode DLC, because actually today, the guys over at CVG, they hinted and they said stay tuned for their GTA 5 o'clock podcast next Tuesday for some interesting news on a story mode DLC. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully this week we might get some answers. But yeah, getting into my opinions, my thoughts on the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 2. Overall, I would have to say, if I were to give it a number between 1 and 10, I think I would have to give it either a 5 or a 6. I mean, you guys obviously let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? I mean, again, it introduced the Pro Gen T20, my all-time new favorite car. Like, it's beautiful. It's the fastest. Now, granted, it is $2.2 million, even though you can sort of get it for a little bit cheaper with the rebate. But $2.2 million, that's a lot for some people. And I can completely understand if people are sort of upset with these past two DLCs because they did cost so much. But yeah, I definitely think as a whole, it was average. I don't know how you guys feel in the comments, but for me at least, like these past two DLCs, we've hyped them up, and I guess Rockstar and whatever, everybody's hyped these things up so much, and then it just seems like they sort of fall flat, you know, once they do come out. For this one in particular, besides the Pro Gen, the brand new bike, the Dinka Vindicator, is absolutely horrible. There's literally no reason to buy it. The Vappuccino, I mean, I guess it's cool if you like those type of cars, but it looks so similar to the Virgo, it's kind of pointless in my opinion. And the Coil Brawler, the one I was most excited about, it was ruined, I think, because one, it's not a four-wheel drive, and two, the headlights on the top don't even work. So that was really disappointing. Plus, for that one, for the lap times, it came 5th in its category, which is horrible compared to, you know, what else is there. I mean, granted, it is off-road, that lap times doesn't really matter because obviously you're going to be going off-road on rocks and stuff, but I mean, still, you know, you would think it would have been fairly decent for the price point. Now, I mean, I will admit it still does look cool and it's fun to drive around, but that was disappointing. Actually, the other car that I forgot, the Coquette Blackfin, which was surprisingly a muscle car, not a sports classic, it was pretty decent. I mean, again, this was another car. It was third in its lap time for muscle cars, so I guess that sort of keeping it up there, and it'll make it somewhat worth it if you race in muscle cars. I mean, personally, I love the look of it, so that's a plus. And I think besides the Pro Gen T20, this one was another car that I think was worth the money. But those were the only two, in my opinion. Now, the new weapons, the Marksman pistol, I mean, it was cool, but again, you don't really go around pistoling people in GTA, so I mean, that was something extra. And although the Knuckle Dusters did have a ton of customization, again, you don't go around meleeing people. So those were two, I'm not going to like say I'm deducting points or whatever, but they were there, you know. They didn't really have much value, I guess, to me. And I guess the last two things, the Lampadati Toro, the new boat, waste of money. I mean, there's no reason, unless Rockstar makes something, you know, I don't even know what. They just need to make something for people to go. They need to give them incentive to go exploring the ocean, I guess. And I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I mean, the boat. No, granted, the boat was kind of like the $10 million plane. It's like, if you have the money, spend it. If not, there's no need to. But I mean, still, you know, I would have liked something useful maybe instead of these things that you're never really gonna use. And then the clothes. I mean, you guys know the clothes are always good just because it gives us more options. So I guess that's another plus on the DLC side. But I mean, overall, again, I think it's a fairly average DLC. People they're broke in GTA, and it's so hard to make money. Like, yeah, you can do heists, and if you get lucky and do the criminal mastermind, then you'll pretty much be set. But unless you have 4 people to do it with, it's not gonna happen, you know. Plus, if you guys didn't know, and this might be just PC only, but they completely messed up. Rockstar completely messed up GTA and how it works. So many people are having issues with frame rates on PC. If you go into the gun store and you go to buy something, it drops it to like 2 frames per second. If you pull out a minigun, it drops it to like 10 frames per second. It's ridiculous. And the reason that is because Rockstar, they implemented, I guess, this fake code in the game to sort of combat modders, which if you ask anybody in GTA Online right now on PC, it did not work. There's people dropping money, and apparently now, I just read, people can just instantly put money into your account. They don't even need to drop bags. So it's a train wreck, man, on PC at least. And maybe you guys on consoles don't really care, at least the PS4 and Xbox One, because that stuff probably doesn't happen. Xbox 360 last gen, I think I'm still getting tweets to this day saying, you know, there's lobby infections and everything. So it sucks that you guys have to deal with it as well. But this fake code has been the cause of so many problems with frame rates and people having, you know, these really top-end systems and they can't even run the game. So in conclusion, part 2 kind of average. Part 1, if you combine them both, like overall, what was the ill-gotten gains update, I guess, rating? It's probably average too, man, just because the first one, it was even more expensive than the stuff in part 2. And the worst part about it is that the Osiris, which was like, what, $2 million or something, that one was immediately beaten by the ProGen T20, which cost $2.2 million. So it's like, if you bought the first one, now granted, you could sell it, but I mean, you don't get all your money back. And that sucked for so many people because they spent all their money thinking the Osiris was going to be really, really good. And then boom, the next DLC comes out and it's already not the best. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really interested to hear. I mean, I am still looking forward to the future of GTA Online. There's just, again, there's so much they can do. And speaking of that, in the newswire recently, Rockstar sort of teased that potentially the next DLC, which could be a stunting sort of themed DLC, which sounds interesting, but they said one such update they're currently working on is a new feature to enable creators to properly stack props, adding proper support for that highly requested feature, powering super fun mega ramps, loops, and parkour courses. So stay tuned for more info on that. So that sounds really cool. I mean, look, that is one aspect of the game that I absolutely love, the races. I think you guys love it as well. You know, it's so much fun going around with friends, and if they just keep improving on that, I think we'll be a lot happier than them just adding more supercars that are overpriced. So again, for like the 8th time, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That has been it. Sorry for the long video. Got a couple live streams coming out later today, but thank you guys for watching. As always though, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.